How do you step back from a business that can't run without you? You are not being asked to be less. You are asked to aim differently. First, there's the cost to the company, because your best hours, your highest skill, the judgment nobody else in the building has, are being spent in the place the business needs them the least. Now, the gap is not an indictment, it's a map. It shows you exactly where that silent promotion is waiting for you. Is this what the business needs most from me right now? How do you step back from a business that can't run without you? You've probably typed some version of that question to a search bar, probably late at night. And the answers you found all agree with each other. They are hire an integrator, document everything, learn to let go, get better at delegating. Every one of those answers makes the same quiet assumption that the problem is you, your habits, your discipline, your grip. But I've spent more than 20 years inside growth stage companies, and I want to tell you the pattern I actually see. The founders who feel the most trapped are almost never failing at their job. They're succeeding at the wrong one. You're not the problem. You're in the wrong seat. And those are two completely different situations. Today, I'm going to show you how different those really are, why every fix you've tried was built to fix you, and the single question that tells you which seat is actually yours. I'm Dori Etter, and this is Below the Waterline, the leadership work no one else talks about. Let's get into it. Sometime in the last few years, your business promoted you. Nobody told you, there was no announcement, no new title, no cake in the break room. What happened was the company grew, and somewhere along that path, it quietly changed what it needed from you, its most senior person. And it's just been waiting for you to notice. But you haven't noticed because you've been busy. You've been busy doing your job, the old job, the one that you are great at. Let's take a look at your week. Actually look at what's there. Monday probably starts with the meeting you run, because when you don't run it, it wanders. By 10, there are 3 people at your door or in your inbox who each want something from you. Something they could probably handle, but they want your thoughts first. The afternoon is that client thing that only you can do because you're still the sharpest closer in the company. And somewhere before dinner, you review the work that's going to go out because you're sure you're the one who catches the one thing everyone else misses. Your team is good. You hired well and you know it. But somehow everything important still routes through you. You've asked the question out loud, probably this month, why does everything bottleneck at me? And when things get heavy, you respond the only way you've ever responded. This is the way that built the company in the first place. You work harder. You take the laptop out after dinner, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. You get up earlier. You make one more pass at the proposal because your pass is the best pass. And honestly, it probably is. Nobody can tell you the effort isn't working, because the work that crosses your desk really is better for your effort. And that's what makes this so hard to see. The effort works, but the company just doesn't move. Here's what it costs you. And I want you to see this. It took me years to see it as I was sitting next to founders. The tired that you feel, that sense of working, it starts to feel like dedication. And after long enough, you honestly can't tell the difference anymore. It feels like being that busy, that exhausted, that connected is proof that you care. So underneath all of it, you've drawn a private conclusion. You've never said it in a meeting, and you might not have said it to anyone. You've thought, maybe it's me. maybe I'm the reason we're stuck. Because you look at other founders, the ones at your table, at the peer group, the ones who seem to have made it work. You see those EOS success stories and you wonder, what do they have that I don't? There must have been something that flipped for them, some switch that flipped, some willingness that they did that you just can't locate in yourself. Now, back in episode 2, I opened with a founder saying exactly that sentence. I think I might be the reason we're stuck. I told you then that you weren't broken. And today I want to reiterate that and give you more to that answer. Before I do that, I want to honor something. The things you tried were not foolish. More discipline about protecting your time, the delegation books, maybe a course, bringing in a strong operator to take things off your plate. That was the best instruction available, and you took it because you're the kind of person who does the work. But notice what every one of those fixes has in common. More discipline assumes you're not trying hard enough. Delegation training assumes you're doing it wrong. Hiring an integrator assumes someone needs to compensate for you. Every single fix on that list starts from the same diagnosis, and nobody ever said it out loud. You are the malfunction. The advice was aimed at correcting you. Now, the wrong seat has real costs. First, there's the cost to the company, because your best hours, your highest skill, the judgment nobody else in the building has, are being spent in the place the business needs them the least. While you're perfecting the proposal, the leader who could run that whole function isn't being developed. While you're in the weeds of this quarter, nobody is standing where you're supposed to be standing looking at next year. The business isn't just missing your best work, it's missing the work only you could do because you're busy doing work someone else could. And growth flattens against you like a ceiling for another year while everyone wonders what's wrong with the market. Then you pay the personal cost because you've started to believe that the ceiling is a character flaw. You're carrying the exhaustion and the verdict. And that's the part I want to really push back on. I want you to ask a different question. And I want you to hold this question moving forward. Rather than asking yourself, can I do this? The question is this what the business needs most from me right now? That question is central inside alignment architecture. I call it the alignment principle. It's not skill-based, it's alignment-based. And that distinction matters so much. See, most of the frameworks in this space hand you a label. You've probably lived it. You went to a retreat or a quarterly planning day. You took an assessment and it tells you the kind of leader you are. You're the visionary or you're the integrator. And you should be handing this off or you should be handing that off. You're this type, not that type. You're supposed to pick a box and you surrender everything that isn't in it. And there's a moment that you're reading this result and you're like, this doesn't feel right. It's not that the label is wrong exactly. It just feels like it's too small. So you think, I'm good at these other things, and you're right. When you think about what that type of a framework asks of you, you built this company by being capable of everything. You were the sales when there was no salesperson. You were operations when there was no ops team. You've done product, hiring, finance, collections, all of it, you. And that range isn't random or minor. It's actually the reason this company exists. And being handed one role and told to give up the rest, that doesn't feel like clarity. It feels like amputation. And so you resist. And of course you resist. This is the part that frustrates me the most. That resistance gets diagnosed as your flaw. Well, he can't let go. She's just too controlling. No, resisting amputation is not a character problem. It is a healthy response to a bad question. The alignment principle asks a different question entirely. Not what kind of leader are you, but what does the business need from you right now? And is that where your energy is going? What that means for you is that your skills don't disappear. Nothing gets amputated. You stay the person who can operate, manage, sell, build, and lead, because that person is who built this. That person is you. What evolves is where that energy must be directed. Your skills don't shrink, your alignment shifts. So let me make it concrete, because it sounds abstract until you see it. The closer in you doesn't retire. Your closer brilliance gets pointed at different things. You close the key hire who has multiple offers. You close the leadership team on a direction they may be resisting. The reviewer in you doesn't retire either. It just stops reviewing every deliverable and starts reviewing the design of how deliverables get made. It's the same muscle, but it's pointed at a different level. Nothing you're good at goes to waste. It gets re-aimed at the version of the company you're actually trying to build. And I want you to sit with that for a moment, because it changes the emotional weather of this whole conversation. If the problem were capability, the fix would be becoming someone else. And no founder I respect would sign up for that. Because the problem is alignment, the fix is redirection. You are not being asked to be less. You are asked to aim differently. In episode 2, I walked you through the 5 stages of the founder alignment arc, the map of where founder's energy belongs as the business grows. I'm not going to reteach the whole thing today. I just want you to hold one idea from it. The seat you're in right now was at some point exactly the right seat. That matters. The seat did not fail. It expired. I want you to go back with me for a second. When there were 4 of you, being in every decision wasn't a bottleneck. It was the operating system. When your name was the product, reviewing every piece of the work wasn't control, it was quality. When cash was tight, doing 3 jobs yourself was not misalignment, it was survival. So every habit you now can't seem to break was at one point exactly the right call. You didn't develop bad habits. You developed correct habits, but then the company outgrew the conditions that made them correct. The reason it's so hard to leave that seat is that everything in you remembers. It remembers the time that that seat was right. That memory is also your proof that there is nothing wrong with you. A seat that expired is a very different thing from a founder who failed. Let me show you what this looks like in a real company. I work with the founder of an expert services firm. He is, without exaggeration, the best practitioner in the building. Highest rate on the sheet. When a client has an ugly, high-stakes problem, he is the one they ask for by name. Now, for years, the market has treated him and the firm as the same thing. And for years, that was the firm's greatest asset. His skill built the reputation. His name filled the pipeline. This is where the wrong seat always starts as the right one. See, now the firm has grown to the point where what it needs most from him is not more of his craft. It's no longer the right seat. He now needs to build the firm itself, the structure, the next generation of experts, the version of the company that carries the standard that he set without his hands on every piece of work. Which means the most valuable thing he can do now is, strangely, not the thing he's most capable at. Just sit with how disorienting that is. Everything in his history says, when it matters, I do the work. And the business is now saying what matters most is the part only you can build, not the work. A few weeks ago in a working session, he said a sentence that really let me know he got it. He said, if it's about me, then it's about me. And that's not the company. Now, notice what did not happen in that sentence. He did not lose his skill. He did not lose his craft. Nobody took anything from him. He's still the best in the building. And when the stakes are ugly enough, he still can be the one in the room. What changed was the destination of his energy. And he's the one who changed it out loud and in his own words. And that is the whole move. That's what it looks like when a founder stops asking, can I do this? And starts asking, is this what the company needs from me now? But why is this so hard? Why doesn't everyone just do it the moment they hear it? Because of what's below the waterline. The sea you've been sitting in all these years comes with an identity anchor. It often sounds like, I built this, I control this, I am this. You can hear it running underneath the things founders actually say. I'm the one who really knows how this works. I tried delegating it, but it never works out. Those sound like observations about the business, but they're not. They're statements about who the founder believes they have to be. So when the business asks you to move seats, it doesn't arrive as a request to redirect your energy. It arrives at a request to stop being you. And no part of you agrees to that, and it shouldn't. That is why willpower has never moved it. And that is why the delegation seminar didn't stick and the org chart redesign didn't support anything. You simply cannot discipline your way out of a sentence that sounds like, I am this. That sentence has to be seen, named, and updated. And the update is not, I am not this anymore. It must name a new I am. And as long as that's missing, nothing will stick. That's the identity work, and it's the part of this transition nobody addresses, which is why this show has the name that it has. And I run more than one business, and every single week I have to ask the same question I'm handing you. What do these companies need from me right now, and is that actually where my energy went? And some weeks the two answers match and the work feels light. And some weeks I look at where my hours went and I don't love the answer. But the question is still doing its work regardless of how I answer it. Once I ask it, I can't drift for long. Now, I also want to note that this comes from care. The care underneath all of this is here because the seat means so much to you. You hold it because you care about what happens in it. You review the work because the client's experience matters to you. You stay in the decisions because the people in the company are counting on the decisions being right. Nobody guards a seat they're indifferent to. Moving seats is not caring less. It's letting the care land where the business needs it now. The founder who builds the next generation of leaders cares just as much as the founder who reviews every deliverable. The care doesn't shrink, it travels with you to a new seat, and from there, it reaches more people than your hands ever could. Now that's the framework. So here's my invitation this week, and it's small. One evening this week, at the end of your workday, I'd like you to ask yourself these questions. What did my business need from me today? And where did my energy actually go? This is not to have you fix anything or reorganize your calendar. Don't go schedule a big conversation to shake things up. Just answer it. Just pick an ordinary day, just a normal Tuesday, and see what the answer is. Maybe they will be the same, but often there's going to be a gap between what the business needs from you and where your energy went. And maybe the business needed you thinking about the next hire and your energy went to the proposal review. Maybe the business needed a decision only you can make and it is still waiting because your day was full of decisions other people could have made. Now, the gap is not an indictment, it's a map. It shows you exactly where that silent promotion is waiting for you. And when you allow yourself to be promoted, you'll see the need and the energy aligned. See, that's what alignment architecture is all about. If you heard your own seat in this episode, this is exactly the work I do with founders. And this fall, I'm doing it with a small group. It's called the Founder Freedom Accelerator. And we find the right seat and we build a company that lets you take it above the waterline and below. There is an interest list. There's a link in the description. Just an opportunity to be the first to know when I do open enrollment for that. Now, before we wrap up, here's the whole episode in brief. You were never the problem. You've been exceeding at a job your business has outgrown. Your skills don't disappear. Your alignment shifts. And the question is never, can you do this? It's, is this what the business needs most from me right now? I'm Dori Etter. This is Below the Waterline. See you next week.